Noorsign Books presents Ramadan Miracles, Stories of Faith Found in the Ordinary. Crescent Moon over Christchurch, Part 2, With the Hardship. Aroha is building a new life, brick by brick, around her grief. But when her son Tariq brings home a drawing, it holds a question she can no longer avoid, and a memory that might just be the key. Ramadan days stacked themselves like careful bricks. Suhoor in the fragile dark, the long climb of the fast, the gentle slide into Maghrib. Around them, Aroha built scaffolding. Extra night shifts, more charts, more beeping monitors, fewer quiet evenings where the thought of a Noor could expand to fill every corner. After school, she sat with Tariq as he traced Arabic letters on the iPad. Alif, he chanted, Ba, Ta, Tha. His online teacher's warm voice floated from the speaker. Again, Habibi, this time with more Tha. On nights off, she baked cheese rolls, date slice, Pakistani samosa from Fatima's old recipe, the cardamom and cumin scent bringing back laughter in Bilal's mother's kitchen. She packed the food into foil trays, labeled them for mosque iftar. Before dawn, she drove to Dean's Avenue, parked across the road, breath fogging the windscreen. When the entrance was clear, she darted up, left the trays on the steps, retreated before anyone emerged. Giving to the mosque, touching its threshold, never crossing it. Like someone allergic to their own house, May said later, when the confession slipped out. You know you're allowed to go in, right? It's not that simple. Nothing is, May replied. Doesn't mean the itching isn't real. At midnight, laptop glow on her face, Aroha typed, Al-Islam, forgiveness, afwa, meaning. Articles, calligraphy, lectures. She read that afwa comes from a root to erase, to efface, like wind erasing footprints in sand. Erase what? The shooter's sin? The blood on the mosque steps? Bilal's name on stone? Erase felt like betrayal. A verse glowed on screen. Did we not expand for you your breast and remove from you your burden? She knew it by heart. Tonight it slid over her like water over glass. On Thursday, Tariq came out of school with paint on his hands and a folded paper. Look, Mama, we did art. In the car, she opened it. 3 stick figures on bright green, a hijabi in blue, a boy, a taller man with hair like scribbles. In his hand, a long rectangle with numbers. A ruler, she realized. At the bottom, his teacher's neat note. Tariq talked about his father today. He spoke beautifully. What did you tell her? She asked, starting the engine. That Baba was really good at building, he said, and how he cried when he read Al-Qur'an, but in a good way, and how he got shot. The words dropped like stones. And how did it feel? She managed. He squinted and thought. Good, he decided. Now she knows him a little bit. That's good, eh? In the doorway of his room that night, she watched him sleep beneath Bilal's graduation photo. So he can see me when I sleep, he'd insisted. In the living room, the house hummed. The green Al-Qur'an waited. She picked it up. It was heavier than it looked, or maybe that was just 7 untouched years. On the couch, she opened it. Bilal's handwriting threaded through the Arabic. Translations, arrows, tiny doodled arches. Halfway through, she found it. Did we not expand for you your breast? With hardship is ease. With hardship is ease. In the margin, in his compact hand, not after, with. Allah doesn't say after the hard thing ease comes. He says with the hard thing. The ease is already inside the hardship. You're already carrying both. She stared until the words blurred. Not after, with. She had been waiting for a day when the pain would finish and ease would finally knock. A last memorial, a last news story, a last nightmare. Then peace. But the verse insisted. Both had arrived together. Her thumb found the sealed envelope tucked in the front. The edges were soft from years of being held, not opened. Her name in his slanted print. Her heart stumbled. Before she could retreat, she picked up her phone. Assalamu alaikum, Al-Noor Mosque? Wa alaikum assalam. Is Imam Abdullah there? It's Aroha Nasser. Moments later, his voice. Sister Aroha, I was just thinking of you. The 27th, is it open to everyone? It is open to everyone, he said warmly. Are you thinking of coming? The question pressed against bone. Yes, she heard herself say. Insha'Allah, I think it's time. Alhamdulillah. Relief colored his words. You and Tariq will be most welcome. I will keep that thing of Bilal safe until then. She hung up. The Qur'an lay open on her lap, the margin note shining. With the hardship, ease. On the table by the door, she placed the Qur'an, ready. The envelope stayed sealed. The night before the 27th, sleep refused to come. 12:43 a.m. The house was sunk in deep quiet. Even the fridge seemed to pause. Tariq's soft snore drifted from his room. On the bed's edge, the Al-Qur'an lay across Aroha's knees. The white envelope glared against the green. She slid her thumb under the flap, stopped, heart racing. She was a nurse. She could pierce a collapsing vein on a moving ambulance, deliver bad news with a steady voice, but this thin paper defeated her. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, she whispered into the dark. Her hand trembled. She set the envelope down and reached for her phone. Fatima answered on the first ring. Assalamu alaikum, beta. Is everything okay? Is Tariq? He's fine. I'm sorry, it's late. Don't be silly. Sleep goes early in Ramadan. What is wrong? I'm going to the mosque tomorrow, Aroha blurted. Saying it aloud made her chest ache. To Al-Noor. Silence. Then a breath that sounded like a broken sob. Alhamdulillah, Fatima whispered. Bilal would be... He wrote me a letter, Aroha rushed on. Before. It's in his Qur'an. I found it after. I haven't opened it. 7 years. Her voice cracked. I'm afraid. I know, Fatima said softly. You know? He told me he was writing something. Not what. He was always writing in Ramadan. A small laugh. Lists and big ideas. He said, Ammi, I am writing for Aroha, for later. I did not ask. A man is allowed his letters. I wondered if you had read it. I haven't. The admission sat heavy. What if it says something I can't carry? What if he asks me to forgive, to go back, to move on? The phrase tasted like ash. What if I can't do it? What if I open it and fail him? Fatima's breath came steady through the line. You have carried that letter for 7 years, she said. You held it when you grew Tariq, when you gave birth. You walk past that shelf and decide not to open it again and again. How much heavier can it be on paper than in your mind? I don't know. It will say what Allah has already written, Fatima continued. Bilal knew you. He would not ask you to be anyone but you. Read it when you are ready. She hesitated. I think you should read it where he prayed, in the masjid. Let his words reach you in the place he loved. After that, what you do is between you and Allah and him, as it always was. I'm scared, Aroha whispered. It felt like a confession to herself as much as to this woman who had become a second mother. I know, Beta. The word wrapped around her like a shawl. Courage is not that you feel no fear. It is that you move your feet while afraid. You have been moving them for 7 years. You went back to work. You grew that boy. You kept praying. Now you move them into that mosque. That's all. I wish you were here, Aroha said, voice small. I am, Fatima replied simply. In your dua, in that boy's face. Now, put the letter back into the Qur'an. Put the Qur'an by the door. Try to sleep. Tomorrow is coming, whether you rest or not. A tired laugh escaped. You and my mom should start a podcast. Your mother is wise, Fatima said, even if she thinks I use too much cardamom. They said their salams. The line clicked off. Aroha slid the envelope back into the Qur'an, carried it to the small table by the door, beside Tariq's school bag and the chipped bowl of keys, laid it down. Her hand rested on the cover. Tomorrow, she whispered. Something inside her that had been clenched for 7 years eased, just a fraction. For the first time in a long while, she fell asleep before Fajr, city dark around her, the Qur'an by the door. The sealed letter, no heavier than it had ever been, simply closer to where it needed to go. You've been listening to Ramadan Miracles, a Noorsign Books original. As the 27th night approaches, will Aroha find the courage to face the memory she has buried? The story continues in the next part. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next miracle. Visit Noorsignbooks.com to join our community and get the full collection. Jazakumullahu khairan.